the debate, for example, between Ibrahim alayhi salam and the ruler of his time, with regard when Ibrahim alayhi salam informed him that Allah is the one who gives life and death. And he said, I give life and death. So he brought an individual, killed him. Brought another individual who he released from prison, freed him. And he said, if you are truly what you say you are, then Allah is the one who makes the sun rise from the east. So if you are truly the Lord, make the sun rise from the west. So he defeated him in this argumentation. And there are many different examples of this. Like, for example, the debating of Ibn Abbas with the Khawarij. And he annihilated them in the debate. And he finished them in the debate. And also the argumentation of some of the Salaf with regard to the people of desires and the people of Shubahat, whereby they are establishing the proof upon the individual. So the rest of the people are aware of his deviation. So argumentation or debating falls into these two broad categories. As for the Salaf of this Ummah, then the generality, it is not this dealing of Ahlul Bid'ah or dealing with Ahlul Bid'ah. The asl of it is that we make hajr from them. This is the asl. And this is the foundation. And the exception is to cooperate with them. So the foundation is, the asl, or the fundamental guiding principle is that we don't talk to them, nor do we sit with them, and we keep away from them, and we make hajr from them, and we warn from them. We don't sit with the one who sits with them, and so on and so forth from the different statements of the Salaf. As for the exception to the rule, to this asl, then that is in a situation whereby there is no other way except to cooperate with them, then that limited cooperation is allowed with them after seeking some rulings from Ahlul Ilm. After seeking some rulings from Ahlul Ilm, who may have judged in a particular situation that it is permissible to cooperate with them. Like, for example, if there's a famine, for example in Africa, and the only organization that is taking food and medicine over to them is an organization that is not Salafi. And the Salafis are not taking food and medicine because they're not organized or they don't have the means to get the food and medicine over to them, then it is permissible to go to Ahlul Ilm and ask them, is it permissible for me to give them some medicine or to give them some supplies so they can take the supplies over to the people, or food over to the people who are dying in Africa? But that is an exception to the asl. And Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah do not go or run to these exceptions and leave the rule or the fundamental of the issue, and that is that we abandon them and we don't cooperate with them and so on and so forth. And the Salaf used to be shadeed and harsh upon the people of bid'ah, and they were firm against them, as has been mentioned from the likes of Imam al-Lalaka'i with his sanad to Sulaiman ibn Yasar, the man from Banu Ghunaym who was called Subayq ibn Asl, approached Medina, and he used to have books. So this was a man who used to carry books with him. So he began to ask about the mutashabih in the Quran, or those parts of the Quran which were unclear. So this reached Umar ibn al-Khattab, Amirul Mu'mineen radiyallahu anhu. So he went to him, and he had prepared for him some branches tied together from the palm tree. So when he entered upon him, he said, "Who are you?" So Umar said to this individual, who used to always seek regarding the unclear verses of the Quran, the mutashabihat. So he said, "I am Abdullah ibn Subayr." So Umar said to him, "I am Abdullah," meaning that I am the worshipper of Allah, and I am Umar. And then he got close to him and began to strike him and beat him with the branches that were tied together. And he did not stop beating him up until he broke open his head, and blood was flowing upon his face. So this Subayq turned to Umar ibn al-Khattab and he said to him, "Enough, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, enough. For by Allah, that which was upon my head, it has all gone away. It has all gone away." So we should take from the lesson of Umar ibn al-Khattab in our times. And maybe this mercy that Umar had, that cause the person to leave his bid'ah. This is the same type of mercy that maybe the likes of Yusuf al-Qaradawi need. The same rahmah, they need it from the likes of Umar ibn al-Khattab. And the same type of rahmah the likes of Abu Hassan need. So this bid'ah that is in their head is removed from their head. And they realize, so they can scream out and say, that which was upon my head, it is gone. This is the mercy of Umar ibn al-Khattab upon Subayr. It is a mercy upon him. It is not to be seen as something that he is just punishing him for the sake of punishing him. But it is a beating upon him to make him understand that you will not do this in our land. And we also have Imam al-Dhahabi in his biography of Hammad ibn Salama, rahimahullah ta'ala, the great Imam who died in the year 167 after the Hijrah. He said, Shaykhul Islam Abu Ismail al-Ansari said, Imam Ahmad said, when you see a man mocking Hammad ibn Salama, then suspect his Islam. Suspect his Islam. For Hammad ibn Salama was harsh and severe upon the innovators. And Al-Hafidh ibn Hajar, rahimahullah ta'ala, mentions in his Taqrib about Sharik ibn Abdullah al-Nakha'i, who died in the year 177 after the Hijrah. He said, he was upright, a noble person, severe and harsh upon the people of innovation. So having this shiddah, having this severeness, and this severity upon Ahlul Bid'ah is mahmuda. It is something praiseworthy. It is not like the way that the people see today, that they see that severity upon Ahlul Bid'ah is something which is blameworthy, and something to be frowned upon. That you're not really a good Muslim if you're harsh with the people of Bid'ah. And you're not really a good Salafi if you're harsh with the people of Bid'ah. But rather with the Salaf, shiddah upon Ahlul Bid'ah, having severity upon Ahlul Bid'ah was something by way of a praiseworthy trait. So you find them saying that if you see a man cursing or speaking ill of Hammad ibn Salama, then doubt his Islam. For verily Hammad ibn Salama was severe and harsh upon the innovators. So he mentions doubt his Islam because of this noble trait that Hammad ibn Salama had. What was that noble trait? That he was severe upon the people of innovation. And Muawiyah ibn Salih al-Ash'ari said, I heard Ahmad ibn Hanbal say about Sharik that he said he was intelligent, he was truthful, he was a muhaddith, and he was severe, harsh upon the people of doubt and upon the people of innovations. And Imam Malik ibn Anas rahimahullah said, do not give salams to the people of desires, nor sit with them unless you wish to be harsh upon them. And do not visit their ill, nor narrate any hadith from them. Reported. All of this reported in the great book of Ijma' al-Ulama. That gathered together the Ijma' of the ulama with regard to their position towards Ahlul Bid'ah. And we can continue in this way. Like the statement of Ibn Hibban about the Imam Uthman ibn Sa'id al-Darimi. He said, Ad-Darimi, who died in the year 280 after the Hijrah, that he was amongst the precise memorizers, amongst the people of piety. He had awe in the religion, amongst those who had memorized and gathered together. And he had gained understanding and authored works and narrated knowledge. And he made the Sunnah manifest in his land and called to it. And he defended its sanctity and repelled the opposers of the Sunnah. And Imam al-Zahabi said he was devoted to the Sunnah. And he was insightful in debate. He had knowledge in debating. And he was a pole shaft or a rod in the eyes of the innovators. This is the state of the likes of Uthman ibn Sa'id al-Darimi. And other than them, and we could continue narration after narration of how the Salaf had harshness towards Ahlul Bid'ah, how they had shiddah towards Ahlul Bid'ah. Unlike the people of today, who when you show harshness towards the people of innovation, that they frown upon you, and they call you Haddadi, and they call you Khariji, and they call you all types of evil names. So know that if a person accuses Ahlul Sunnah of being Haddadi, then know that he's a Sulaimani, and a Ma'arabi, or a Maghrawi, or a Ar'uri. And you will recognize them because they accuse Ahlul Sunnah of being Haddadiyah. So they accuse Shaykh Rabi of being Haddadi, that he does not show mercy, and so on and so forth. But rather, as we mentioned in the narration yesterday, that Ahlul Sunnah are merciful upon them. We are